Okay, today, fifth graders, we're going to start something new. We're going to divide with decimals. So you notice the problem is 7 2/10 divided by 3. We're going to follow the exact same steps as we did before. Dirty monkeys seldom care to bathe. Or does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, bring down. So we're going to do the exact same thing by first of all finding where the first digit in our quotient is going to be. Does 3 go into 7? Yes, it does. It goes in 2 times. My next step is to multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. I subtract. I have 1 left over. Can I have 1 left over? Remember that important step of comparing? Yes, I can. So my next step is to bring down. Remember, every time I bring down, I have to put something up. So then I start all over again with divide. This time, though, I'm doing this 3 go into 12. Yes, it does. It goes in 4 times. I multiply. 3 times 4 is 12. I subtract. I get 0 left over. So, of course, that means there's no remainder, and there's nothing more to bring down. Now, normally in our math that we've been doing, this would be our answer, just 24. But remember, there's a decimal in this. And what we do with the decimal is we bring it straight up. So we end up with 2 4/10 as our answer. To check that, 2 4/10 times our divisor, 3. 3 times 4 is 12, carry a 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Remember, we do have a decimal place, though. We count how many decimal places are in our factors. There's only 1. So we have to have 1 in our answer. So 7 2/10, and that is what we started with. Fifth graders, we're going to do another kind of decimal division problem, but this time we're going to talk about what happens if you have a remainder. The last problem went in perfectly with no remainder, so we're going to see what happens when you do have a remainder. Notice the steps are exactly the same. 5, does it go into 1? No, it does not. Does it go into 14? Yes, it goes in 2 times. Multiply, 5 times 2 is 10. I subtract, I get 4 left over. Can I have 4 left over? Yes, I can. So my next step is to bring down my 1. Then I start all over again. Does 5 go into 41? Yes, it does. 8 times. 5 times 8 is 40. I subtract, I have 1 left over. Can I have 1 left over? Yes, I can. So I bring down my 2. How many times does 5 go into 12? It goes in 2 times. 5 times 2 is 10. I subtract. I have 2 left over. Compare. Can I have 2 left over? Yes, I can. Now this is where on a regular problem we would have said, oh, I guess we're done. That's our remainder. But in decimals, we don't have a remainder. So what we do is, if you remember, we can add a 0 after a decimal point, and it doesn't change the value of the number. So I'm going to add that 0 and bring it down. Now does 5 go into 20? Yes, it goes in 4 times. 5 times 4 is 20. We subtract, nothing left over, nothing more to bring down, so we're done. You can actually bring down more than 1 0 if needed, and we'll explore that with some other problems later. Our last step here, if you remember with decimals, we bring the decimal straight up. So my answer would be 28 24 hundredths.